Oh, we're live, and good afternoon. This is Angel, and as you can tell, we're live.
The phone is ringing.
The phone is ringing. That means another customer or client, should I say, is calling for assistance. I do want to say good afternoon, and I apologize for that. I'm Angel, and this is Juan.
I'm Juan. Good
Juan
afternoon, guys.
Grimaldo, from the Grimaldo Group. And this episode, we are going to be talking about fatherhood because Father's Day is coming up, correct?
Definitely, sir.
So given the fact that we're fathers, we've kind of decided to let's talk about fatherhood. What have your experiences been with fatherhood?
It's been the most amazing job or opportunity that God has given me. I think being a father is one of the greatest things because you can see your kids, grow. And when I hear people say, you know what, it was so hard raising up my kids. I can't wait for them to leave. I don't want them to leave. I love that. It's one of my favorite things to do.
How many kids do you have?
3 girls.
3 girls.
Yeah.
I mean, you have my respect. Look at this beautiful picture. You got 3 beautiful girls, lovely family. What has been the most challenging part of fatherhood for you?
Honestly, I think my wife is amazing. And I think for me, it's been a little easy because she's been handling most of the work when it comes to them being at home. For me, it's been a blessing. I love being with my kids. I enjoy them a lot. There's things and times where I think I should have been more present, right? Because as we in this business, in any business, I mean, we get distracted with all the noise. But I don't think I've had any challenges. They've been great. God has been good to us, man.
Well, good. I mean, you obviously had a father because how else would you be here, right?
Right.
What from your father can you say has helped you with your family?
He was very present with me. I was very blessed because I was the youngest of the family. So there was 8 of us. And when I came to the picture, my father had already retired. I was 11 years old when he retired. And he was funny. He was a hardworking man. And he'd always give me a saying. And Helen tells me this all the time. Dad, you have a lot of sayings from your dad. And that's one thing that I cherish and one thing that I carried from him, and I think my kids are going to probably learn some of those because I'm always mentioning him. Again, he was very, very present.
He looks like a cowboy.
He was star. Yeah, he was good looking.
Yeah.
That's where I get my
right. Whatever.
He's my father, right?
I mean, you said 8 kids. I come from a family of we were 8 kids, and mom and dad, and I grew up in Jersey. I was born in Jersey. And then I had a very good father. He was a minister. I grew up in a very conservative household, very strict, very structured, but very loving. And I remember when I was 25 years old, I called up my father and I said, "Hey, Dad, are you going to be home? I want to have breakfast with you." And I did talk to my mom on the side. I said, "Mom, I need some special time. Like, I want to be separate with my dad because I want to cook for him. I want to have a nice breakfast." I did this really, really good omelet. I showed up to the house, cooked for him. We had breakfast together. And then I looked at him and I said, "Thank you for being the father that you've been to us." Because we didn't grow up in the nicest side of town. And he took very good care of us. And I stood up and I gave him this big bear hug and I kissed him.
That's awesome.
And that was a very special moment. And I'm very thankful that I did that. Because not too long after that, he passed away, like 3 years later. So I was able to be able to express myself with him. And I carry a lot of teachings with him throughout life. I was in the military. And I could be anywhere in the world. And, I don't know if you ever used the calling cards. That's how.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I would have a calling card, and I would be wherever. I could be on the other side of the world. I'd pick up the phone. And have deep conversations with my old man. I mean, if I need advice, whatever it could be. So I think with my kids, and you can ask them when you get an opportunity. Those of you know that my kids, I got a 29.
Oh man, you look the same. Look at that.
That's my old man. He was already, I wonder how old he was there. But some people say I look like him.
Yep,
that's a good thing.
Yep. And I got to ask you this question because being Hispanic, and being disciplined and being that we are your 50s, is it?
Yeah,
40s,
I'm 50 something.
So
54.
our generations are a little bit different, but yeah, we're not too different, right? Like my dad, I can remember a couple spankings that he did, and he was a very loving father, but he also he was a discipline, right? So he was, you wouldn't BS with him. It was straightforward stuff. So he was very funny.
Yep.
He was really cool. But I remember this one time I got home late, and
did they go well?
He was, telling me, hey, what's wrong with you? And I talked back to him.
Ooh.
He raised his voice, and I shut down, and I'm like, Dad, I'm sorry. And because I knew, I mean, he was very, very loving, yet he disciplined when he needed. How about you?
That's exactly how it was back in the day. When the old man would say it's time for bed, it's time for bed. You don't ask questions.
You don't question it, right?
You don't. And when you got 8 kids in the house, you have to be structured and disciplined, because if not, you lose control. But with my kids, I have 2 children, and then I have grandkids too. 2 grandkids and 1 on the way. And those are my kids when they were little. Picture up right there.
Look at your son. He also looks like you.
Yeah, I can't deny it. He says he's the better version. But hey,
I'm not going to make an opinion. So.
But the picture up top is when we were in DC. I mean, I've had the opportunity to travel with my kids. We've gone through different parts, and there's a lot of memories, good memories of their upbringing. And I have a very good relationship with my kids. I may be rough around the edges, but
I think we all are now.
Yeah, but it's been a great time. And now I see my grandkids. I love hanging out with the grandkids. It's been a special moment. And now I see my kids as parents themselves.
Definitely. I actually, one of my favorite things was my kids played soccer throughout their youth and growing up. And for me, that was my favorite part of my week, right? And I'm getting a little emotional because I miss that. I was able to enjoy it with them, yet, time has gone up and I kind of get on them. Hey, we got to spend time together,
Yeah. I mean, they're going to be my kids. They got their families to attend to. And now I hang out more with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
But we do family activities. I think fatherhood, you have to recognize you have great responsibilities over your shoulders. I mean, you're the high priest of your household. In today's society, sometimes that gets questioned, but maybe I'm a little old school, old fashioned. And I just feel that as fathers, we carry a great responsibility. And then it gets complemented with the mothers.
Definitely.
So very special time. And we kind of wanted to touch base on fatherhood. I mean, we're real estate agents. This after all, this is what our bread and butter is. But we want to take a little bit of this time to kind of reflect on fatherhood. I'm sure that you out there have your experiences as well. And we want to wish everyone, all the fathers listening to us, a very happy Father's Day weekend, not just a Father's Day. Hope you don't just get socks and stuff and that you don't have to grill. Maybe you can just sit back and relax, at least for Sunday. So
have your wife treat you with a nice dinner, right?
Yeah.
And your kids, and just even have fun to get together.
I'm sure your kids are going to be cooking for you, right?
I hope so. They're great cooks.
Where are they anyways? Oh,
right.
Well, if your kids are listening and my kids are listening, I hope I don't have to cook on Sunday, but many Father's Days I have.
Right.
So, but hey,
it's okay.
It comes with the territory, right?
And I actually enjoyed. That was one of my favorite things to do too. Like I would get home and they're like, "Dad, let's get some steaks." And we put some steaks on the grill and we did a feast. We hang out, we ate, and they love it. I love it.
I think that's what the joy we get out of being fathers. We see the smiles and the results of our hard labor, and when we come together, break bread as a family. I love, like at my house when I'm cooking and stuff, and I see people either dancing, cracking jokes, smiling and stuff. And there have even been times where we get these serious conversations going, and they're deep. Sometimes we reflect in life and what's going on around, but that's what makes it special. So,
yep. What traditions do you have with your kids?
What traditions? Well, with regard to holidays, or
What do you guys do together? Like, do you guys get together every now and then?
Oh
to
yeah,
celebrate
yes,
anything?
yes. Well, definitely we try to get together for birthdays and stuff. Like we're at any opportunity that we have. My daughter lives in Latin America, and so does my son. They live abroad. I'm the only one living in the States. So it requires traveling, but with technology, FaceTime, and so on, we communicate and we stay in touch. So we try to take advantage of any moment that we can put something together, either a grandkid's birthday or anything. And then we just hang out. Sometimes we vacation together.
That's cool.
So
Sweet. One of the things that we do is, and I used to do this with my dad, even though I was 18, 19, if my dad was sitting next to me, I would grab his hand. And I do that with my daughters. And I remember this one time we were at soccer practice, and I believe it was Helen that was walking with me. And she, we grabbed hands and we're going, we're walking away. And as I come back, one of my friends, he's like, dude, how do you do that? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, my daughters don't even talk to me. So when you mention responsibility, it is our job and our responsibility to take care of that.
Yeah.
Are you present with them? Are you talking to your kids? Are you having conversations? And again, I'm not going to say I'm perfect, because I'm not. And I'm going to tell you that I wish I was a better dad, and I wish I was a better father, and that I paid more attention to my kids, because there's been times where I catch myself that they're talking to me and I'm distracted, which it hurts me as I realize it. But we become so numb that, we're working, we're busy. But why are we busy?
Well, for them.
To provide for them, right?
So I think it's important to get them involved and have them know what it is that you do.
Yep.
I was in law enforcement. I would allow my kids, I wanted to them for them to know and try to get a glimpse at least of what my job entailed.
Right.
And then they learn how to respect what I do and put value to it. And then you have to also interact with your children, because sometimes unfortunately, we think that by providing them shelter and food on the table, that's enough.
And things, yeah.
We don't have interaction. We don't take time from the day, even if it's 30 minutes, and you have to kind of have conversations.
Be conscious about it.
Affirmative.
Yeah.
And if we don't do that as time progresses and they become adolescents and young adults, the world is going to take over.
So what advice would you give to parents, especially young parents? We have a lot of clients that are very young, which to us, again, is a blessing. What we do gives us the opportunity to talk to many people and also be part of their lives. And typically when they're purchasing a home, a major event happened, right? They got married, divorced, whatever. But these are special moments, and we believe in God. And we believe that, if we're going to give a word of encouragement, it has to be a good encouragement. So what advice would you give to those youngsters that are getting married, that are going to have kids or have little kids, that we could have done better, right?
Well, communication is key.
Okay.
And then kids are sponges. If you're not fully aware of that, I would say learn it quickly and read books about parenting.
That's a huge one, right? Because we don't come with the kids don't come with a manual.
No.
And one of the things that I always say is kids don't see what you say, they see what you do.
And then when you think whatever is happening to you is only happening to you, if you interact with other couples, I believe in going to couples retreats at church and so
Bible
on. Bible studies. You begin to learn that other people out there are experiencing
the
what
same
you're experiencing,
yeah,
but are probably several steps ahead of the game. And so you can get advice and learn, read, and be surrounded by people that are probably several steps ahead of you, and that's going to help you.
I'm going to look up a book. I think it's Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters. I started reading that book, and oh my gosh, it was eye-opening to realize the stuff that we don't know, right?
Yeah.
Yet there's a lot of knowledge out there, guys. I'm huge, and Angel can attest to this. I'm always mentioning books because they've helped my life. They helped me and my family, and I want to share that with the world. There's people that have lived before us that have had experience. There's super educated people, psychologists, psychiatrists that have done a bunch of research, and it's at the fingertips, at your fingertips. And for a little fee, you can get huge knowledge that is going to change your life. And not only the most important part is going to change your kid's life.
Well, I think something that I didn't mention is the power of prayer. I believe in God
Yep.
as well. I'm not the most perfect individual
We're
out
not.
there, but I believe in the power of prayer. I believe in divine intervention, and I pray over my children even to this day. So I now have a responsibility to continue that, even with my grandchildren. So when my kids were growing up, I would oftentimes approach them as they are sound asleep, and I would pray over them.
Yep.
And I would be by their side and just reflecting on this great responsibility that God bestowed upon me. So it's, at least in my opinion, if you read books, that's great. If you learn from those that have more experience in parenting, but complemented, most importantly for me,
Yep.
divine intervention through prayer over your children.
Amen.
Cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, I think that's it.
That's it. Just wanted to share a little message about fatherhood and what we've experienced. And again, Angel asked me what it was. So what is the most important thing from you? Like what was the best, what did you learn from your father? The one thing that you can say, you know what, I'm so grateful for my father because of.
Be very loving, and this, and somehow you got to be stern, strict, structured, but extremely loving. If you can make that happen, you're going to go very far.
Amen. Love it. Thank you, Angel.
Well, have a good one. And again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers listening to us. And why not just say happy Father's Day weekend?
Yep. Happy Father's Day every single day of the year. And God bless you all.
God bless.